Hi everyone, it's Steph here from Chaos in the Craft Room. Thank you so much for joining. I've got two exciting things to share with you today, and the first one is my submission to Billie's challenge. So Craft and Cake with Billie has her challenge, and that's to celebrate her 800 subscribers. And the second part, which is in my second chapter of this video, is how I make my pleated skirts with an embossing buddy. And these cards are inspired by Billie's cards with her pleated dresses. So Billie's challenge is her Sweet Spring Challenge, and it's really using anything that you would find in a cake or candy store, and you can create any craft incorporating these items or literally redoing these items. So I've decided to make cards for my submission as per my normal style of crafts using paper. But there's some great submissions on Billie's channel that I highly recommend you check out, and I'll put the link to her channel below. So I've used a paper pad called Doodling Bug Designs Cream and Sugar Pack, and for this challenge we need to use specific colors, and one of them is pink, and so I've decided to make it a very pink themed, and this is the perfect paper pad for that. The other colour options are pastel, vintage or shabby chic, and I've certainly used the vintage style for my next set of cards. But I just love these cards and the cute little sayings and images. The first card said, "Donut worry, be happy," with a cute picture of a donut. And one of the other ones there says, "Sugar and spice and everything nice." So true. This last card, I thought it was a bit of fun. It's "You're my cup of tea" is what's on there. And so I've got a little pop-up card for someone to pull out one of my favorite teas. So I thought that was a really fun card to incorporate a bit of interaction as well that matches the card. And for this second lot of cards, I've made these cute little dresses, and this style is really Billie's sort of style. So thanks so much for the challenge, Billie. I've really enjoyed making these, and I look forward to showing you how I made these pleated skirts. If you're interested in participating in this challenge, I recommend to head over to Billie's channel, and if you are based in the US, there are even some prizes that you can win. I also have my giveaway that's still going for another day, so if you're quick and head to my quick tips video, you might be able to join in on that too, and all you need to do is leave a comment. Alright, so now how to make these pleated skirts. So the first thing I do is get a bit of paper, doesn't matter what size because we're going to cut it down, but measure 5 inches across, and that will be for the bottom of our pleated skirt. Now don't measure that at the very bottom of the page because we will be adding a bit to that. I then measure 3 inches up, which will be the length of our skirt, and then I measure 1 inch in the center of that 5 inches. So it's at the 2 and 3 inch mark if you measure it from that 5 inch length. And don't worry if you're losing track of all these measurements, I will be having a cutting list posted on my Instagram and at the end of this video, so it's easy for you to follow. I then go ahead and make each of those lines curved so that we've got a curved bottom on our skirt, and also a little bit of a curve up the top too at the top of the skirt. At then the top section of the skirt, I will be marking or dividing that section into 6 sections. So I just put a mark in the center and then put 2 lines either side of that, and that will give us 6 sections. And I then go ahead and number those sections, number 1 to 6. And it doesn't matter which direction you do it. You can do it left to right, right to left, doesn't matter, as long as you're consistent in the way that you do it for the next part of the video. So then at the bottom part, so the bottom section of the skirt, I get my ruler and I draw lines at every 1/4 of an inch. I then alternate making a mark at a 1/4 of an inch with 1/2 an inch. So we mark it at a 1/4 of an inch, then 1/2 an inch, then a 1/4 of an inch, then 1/2 an inch, and you keep doing that all the way across. And that's not a 1/4 of an inch and 1/2 an inch markings on the ruler, that's literally measuring a 1/4 of an inch and then measure half an inch from the previous marking. So as you can see here, you can see my lines. It's first 1/4 of an inch, then half an inch, and that's why you get that pattern. And I go ahead and do the same thing that we did at the top of the skirt, but I actually number the bottom of the skirt. But this time I put 2 of every number. So I put 2 number 1s, 2 number 2s, all the way up to number 6, and doing it in the same direction as what we did at the top. So it doesn't matter which direction you go, as long as it's the same direction as what was on the top of the skirt. So now you can see here at the bottom, we've got 2 number 1s to the right, and we've got 1 number 1 at the very top. And I will have that clearly outlined in my directions at the end of the video, the direction sheet at the end of the video, and on my Instagram. And then I draw the line from the top section of the skirt to the bottom. So just at the end of the lines, I just make a little mark, so then I know exactly where I have to cut. And then I cut that shape out. And then for preparation for the next step, I'm going to mark every even number one colour and every odd number another colour. And that's because it affects the way we fold the paper. And it's not something that you have to do. I just sort of make it nice and easy to show you for the video. However, it might make it easier for you as well when you do it at home as well. And this whole time we're doing the markings, we are doing the markings on the back of the skirt, so you don't even need to rub it all out. It is just all on the back of the skirt, so no need to worry about your markings. Just make sure though that it isn't a Sharpie or something that might transfer through to the front side of the paper. All right, so now on to the section to actually make the fold marks. So what I've done is we really just want to score really straight lines on this skirt according to where we want them. So I've put a bit of double-sided tape to mark exactly where one line is on my score buddy, just to make it really clear, as otherwise I get confused which line adds up to what on the other side of the skirt. So what we do is we do section 1 first. So we line up the top section of the skirt, number 1, to the number 1 line at the bottom of the skirt. And the aim here is to create easy folds for us to make these pleats. So just imagine where the pleats are going when you're doing this. So we've got 2 number 1s down the bottom, and both of them you'll score to the center of number 1 section at the top of the skirt. So it makes like this little triangle. And of course you don't have to pleat it exactly to the center of number 1. You can separate the 2 lines within the same section a bit if you want to. But then once you've done those first lines for number 1, you move on to section number 2. And just because we've coloured this a different colour, you still do it the exact same way. It's just the folding that's different. So just make sure for each section, you want to make a line from where you've marked it at the bottom of the skirt to the same section at the top of the skirt. And it doesn't matter whereabouts in that section you make the marks up the top, as long as you really try and be as close to the line as you can at the bottom of the skirt. And you just go across and do this for every section. Now when we numbered all the lines at the bottom of the skirt, you'll realise after you mark the 2 6s, there was an extra line, and I just don't score that line. But if you want the skirt to sort of fold over a bit more, you can, and still make it go to section number 6 as well, and then have 3 lines from the bottom of the skirt go to section number 6 at the top of the skirt. And so we're really just creating a nice template for us to fold to create this skirt. So you can see how I've embossed those lines on the skirt, and they all go from the bottom of the skirt and fan in nicely to the top of the skirt. Then when it comes to doing the folding, what we do is, that's why I've done the colours at the bottom of the skirt. So make all the same colours go in the same direction. So it doesn't matter which way you do it, but for me, I'm going to do all the odd numbers, so number 1, 3 and 5, so those numbers that you've written at the bottom of the skirt, they're all going to fold inwards, so the white paper goes onto the white paper. And you just do those folds all in the same direction for all the odd numbers. And you can use something to help you push down, or you can do it by hand. It just depends how defined you want those lines. And so as I continue to do all these folds, I'll just speed up this process a little bit, just so you're not having to watch me fold every single line. But then once we've done all the odd numbers in this same direction, we then go ahead to do the folding for all the even numbers, but we actually go in the opposite direction. So previously we had the white section folding onto the white section, where this time you'll see we've got the pink section, so the actual side of the skirt that you see folding onto the pink section. So you can see we're going in the opposite direction, and now we're just folding the number 2, 4 and 6, so just the opposite ones that we folded last time. So it doesn't matter, you can fold them all the other way, but as long as you're consistent with every second one is folded in a different direction, or every second number that we wrote at the bottom of the skirt in a different direction. So now we've done all our folding, so I just turn it back over and I just really focus on those pleats to fold them a bit to the left and the right to make sure that they are standing out. But the way that we've folded them will make them stand out already. We just want to accentuate that a little bit. And you'll see it's already starting to take shape. We just need to play around a little bit where those pleats are and just really push to the left and the right of each of those pleats to make sure that they are standing out and sitting nicely. And there we have the way I create my little pleated skirts. So I hope you've really enjoyed watching this video. If you like this video, please hit the like and subscribe button. You can also access my step-by-step instructions on my Instagram, which is chaos in the craft room. So head there, and also don't forget to check out Crafting and Cake with Billie's page as well. And I can't wait to see you next time.